Welcome.
Hi.
Hello,
Wow.
hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sure, we can
Yes.
hear you.
Hi there. And I see that you are joining from Kenya. Oh my God. That's amazing. So, what's the time out there?
So currently it's at 5:30 p.m. East African time.
Oh, so it's almost night.
Almost.
Almost, okay. And guess what time it is in Seattle, USA? It's 6:30 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and that's why, folks, when I was like, oh my God, I have a 6:30 a.m. call. Oh, I better get up in the morning and get ready and be ready for you all. So it's so good to see you, everyone.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you.
Yeah. So how do we? Should I go ahead and present?
Yeah, sure. So for our viewers, the session is harnessing the power of AI to elevate our personal brand. As you all know, whether you are a professional or you are an entrepreneur, how you present yourself online can play a quite a huge critical can play a critical or can have an impact in your career. So Harpreet from Seattle will be taking us through this session. Welcome, Harpreet. I think you can share your screen.
Yes, I am gonna start that. It's a new, so let me just close and I'm gonna start. It says it's uploading.
You can also introduce yourself as the slides are
Yeah,
being
so for
presented.
the folks, tell me how many of people we have. I cannot tell. So talk to me about how many people we have in the audience.
We have about 200 people.
Very good. So, for the folks who are all online, I'm Harpreet Kaur. I am the CEO of Vibe. So, if you go to vibeblendin.com, you can see all about me. I'm also a product leader. So, at Microsoft, I'm leading the next generation of our hybrid cloud and Windows Server. So, that's something which I am working on in my day job from 8 to 5, as I say, and then 9 to 5 I run my own company, which is by Blendin, and I talk a lot about personal branding. I do a lot of keynote speaking. I do a lot of exec coaching through that as well. And one of the things which is very close to my heart is personal branding, and we are going to talk about how we can harness the amazing power of AI today, and just how we can combine everything together and use the power we have to actually elevate and empower our brand. Because guess what? We are old, everyone else is taken. So either you can be yourself, or you can ask anyone else to tell the story on your behalf. What do you want? Right? So the key is, as I was listening to the last, I was in backstage and I was listening to what amazing things David was saying. The amazing power, or the work we have. Microsoft is kind of the leader. I'm not saying the others are not, but Microsoft is a leader as well, and is a leader in AI. So use all the power of AI to elevate your career forward as well. Specifically today, I think I have close to 25 minutes, if I'm correct.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'm gonna take that as a yes. So, with that being said, right, like it's amazing when it's a good thing when we talk about, everywhere these days you're kind of listening about AI. I have heard, like, as on LinkedIn as well. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn as well. There is a barcode there. Anytime you're talking about something, if you're adding the word AI, it seems to have more impressions. It's If you're working on something which is a cool technology, it seems to have more eyes. For all of us as well, I always talk about let's go to the slide deck as well, because I have some slides for you. It's a live. I also heard today my session is the last session. So guess what? You're going to go hopefully with some homework as well, because I love to give homework. I'm a product leader, product manager. As a product manager or program manager, you're always kind of making sure my audience is engaged, and then they also get some clear action items out of that. So one of my I spoke last week as well at one of the conference, and we talked about personal branding. And one of the audience person, they made this amazing picture of me, which is a cartoon version of me, but if you look at it, I talk about why blend in when you're born to stand out. And guess what, how this was made. This was made using Microsoft Designer, which is an AI tool. So a quick tip for all of you is use technology, use things like Dolly, which is a Microsoft, again, a designer, or Microsoft Designer, or any other tool. There are multiple other AI tools to design and tell people the story in your way. Because in today's world, you got to tell the story. Either you can tell your story or someone else is going to tell the story. What do you want? Right? Someone else to perceive you as what you are not, versus you want to tell, this is who I am. I'm a product manager, I'm a SWE or a software engineer, I have these strengths, and tell that not only in your resume, but on your social platforms. In today's world, using the technology is the key. So I love this quote by Oscar Wilde, which is, be yourself, everyone else is taken. But like you probably are thinking, but Harpreet, like, okay, you were going to talk about personal branding side of it. So I'm going to open this up. Actually, on that note, I only see the slides and I don't see, so I'm opening it up on my side as well. So just give me a second here. Um, so we're going to get on the journey of personal branding. It is but before we even go in, I want to make sure my audience, all of you, kind of understand the concept of what exactly is the personal branding. So personal branding, it is actually the brand around what you're gonna brand yourself as an individual. It is super important. Like, it's not just how you look, it's not how you just have a unique voice. It's the standard which like your readers, your fan, or whoever you're talking to, they kind of know who you are. So if you look at it, that's a Microsoft logo, but it's a picture which I drew. I'm an artist as well, so I love to kind of build things which are close to my heart. So another thing for you to brand yourself when you're thinking about, okay, it's not just the technical side, but what else I can bring in. But before we go in, there are different definitions people kind of think about. Personal brand, it's the way you define yourself, the way you're perceived by others. Remember, I said you can tell the story yourself, or you can let others perceive what they think about you. It's your reputation. And actually, you are your own brand. It's something which people talk about when you're not in the room. If you are a professional, I'm repeating this again. When you leave those rooms, what are people talking about you? That's your brand. Now, again, how are we going to start building on those, right? What are some of the steps? But before we go in, you're like, okay, Harpreet, you're talking about all these personal branding, but why is it so important? As I said, it's a story which you tell yourself. And when you're not in the room, people talk about you as well, right? It's your brand perception. You're at the heart of that brand. You can either have that voice. It's the best representation of you. When you're in those rooms or when you're not in those rooms, is there a difference in both of that? right? So you have to find who you are and do it in purpose. And in today's world, it's even more important than others. The reason is, you know, 87%, and I'm not giving any number, just a rational number. Okay, Harpreet threw you a number. 87% of the recruiters these days, they will first look at your brand. What is your brand online? Are you standing out? Are you, if there are 200 people who are applying for the same job, how are you going to stand out? What makes you stand out? Are you going to be, are you sending a clear message of who you are, your personality, your specialty? How is it going to position you for the opportunities which are out there? It's going to help you, actually, if you build it right, it's going to help you lead more, it's going to help you win more, it's going to help you attract more people towards you. So it is super important. And then you may be stating, okay, Harpreet, sounds good. We understand the what, we understand the why. What makes it a great brand? Having a very clear vision, what do you stand for, having those consistent value, how are you authentic, how are you impactful, how are you being present. But at the same time, talked about the why, talked about the what. Here's your homework. If you have to take a one picture today, this is the picture I would like you all to take. Because now I'm going to shift into how AI is going to help you build this. So in your mind, or if you've already taken a picture, I want you to reflect back on, how am I different than others? What are some of the skills which I have, which are different than others? Or even like not even different. Let's take an example of this girl who's talking to you all. Okay, I'm a mom. Okay, I'm a wife. Okay, I belong to my faith, whatever that is. But I'm a computer engineer. I've been in the industry for 20 years. I've led products from 0 to 1, from the initiation to the launches, from 0 to billion of dollars in revenue, from team of 1 to 400 plus, right? And then certified, whatever those are, start writing your assets. Because each one of you, if you tell me, Harpreet, I'm just a student, you still have some assets. Think about those. I'm really good in Python. I'm really good in this. I'm really good in that, right? Then your values. What are some of the values which are very close to your heart? Honesty, trust, respect, unconscious bias, whatever that is, which is close to your heart, and something which you grew up or you feel like no one else has. Start writing that. Then your impact. Maybe even if you're a student, or if you are early in career or mid in career, what are some of the attributes or big projects you have done, be it in college, be it in university, be it in your first or second year or fifth year of your work, whatever that is. If you're still a student, what are you doing in the community, whatever, start writing those traits, start writing those strengths in. Then you start thinking about, what gets me up in the morning and I say, oh my God, I'm going to do this. For example, you guys, as I told you, it's at this point, this is 6:30 a.m. The reason I got up is because I'm very excited to give you the A and B of everything, of personal branding. Now, how are you going to use this? I want each 200 of you to think about how you're going to make you.inc, Sammy.inc, Lena.inc, John.inc. What is that when I look for you? And how are we going to use, now coming to like the last 10 minutes or so, I've been talking about personal branding, the what, the how, and the why. Now, how you can use AI in that. And if you say, Harpreet, oh my God, as I was listening to David was talking more about, the sweet side of it, the how you can actually, become really well versed in this. For personal branding, actually, you don't need to be even well versed in anything or get into that. Just open up. Like, there's so many content creation. If you say, okay, Harpreet, I've done that exercise of values, passion, what are my things I bring to the table, my unique traits, but I don't know how to pull it together. What do I write on any social platform? And I'm not saying, okay, go start building on LinkedIn, even though I will say there are 1 billion people who are on LinkedIn. So why not? Right? Or if you are more like a real person or small shorts person, like, like you make a very small, not that short, SHORT, shorts or reels, you're very much into that video creation of what you bring to the table. You can use TikTok, you can use Instagram or TikTok or X, or, like Twitter, right? Small things, right? Whatever that is, start telling people what you bring to the table by content creation. Now, there are a lot of AI writing tools, and I'm giving just some examples. Chat GPT, I think 3.5 is free, 4 has some subscription to it. Do it. There is Google Bard, there is Copilot, which David was also talking about. There's Bing Enterprise. Use that and give it some prompts. Give it prompts like, think about it. When it was not there, I used to call myself a career coach, a leadership coach. As you change, it helped me to connect the right words to elevate my own brand. Now I call myself Harpreet as a person who connects talent, the right talent, to the right opportunity. I'm a connector, right? So use the content creation AI tools like, as I said, GPT, Bard, Copilot, Bing Enterprise. And then you can also use some bots who can help to tell you that is your audience connecting with it or not. And some of the examples I'm giving here is Corata, Feedly, DrumUp. I have used Feedly and it does amazing. Once you've done that, once you've formalized like what you bring to the table, remember the reason I spent some time on the personal branding, this slide, is because this is important for you to do this homework before you start going into Chat GPT or before you start going into AI tools and start asking it, because you need to ask the right prompts as well. It needs to reflect the unique you versus someone else. So for that to do, use the right tools, right prompts. Like if I say, I love building teams, and then I will say something else like servant leadership, it will build me a really good mission statement, a vision statement. Now, once you've created the content, wherever that is now, the thing which I'm not sharing with you is use any social network. Gone are the days when Harpreet Kaur, this name is a very, very popular name back home in from where I came in India. So how is this Harpreet Kaur different than all the thousands Harpreet Kaur? Think about that. Use AI's power to elevate your brand. Social media management. Like if you ask me, Harpreet, so I would like to do all the tools, all the social tools, and start building my brand across. So there are tools which can help you manage that. I'm doing this today. Maybe like there was one time, I'll give you a personal example. I was out sick. I got COVID, just like viral, a few months back. And I was literally on bed for a week. But as a content creator, as someone who really understands that, you kind of have to engage your audience and keep building on it for other people. And I'm not saying like I'm looking for a job or anything, it's your brand. But maybe you're in the market. Do you want recruiters to be you reaching out to recruiters versus recruiters looking at you and say, oh, this software engineer, he's been writing so much on GitHub, or he has put his all the code there, and I love what he's doing. And you've built a brand for yourself. So coming back to the story, I was out sick, and there I was, and my posts were still getting posted, and someone pinged me, and they're like, are you not sick, but we see you on LinkedIn? And I'm like, guess what, I'm using social media management tools, AI tools, Hootsuite. I use that. And then you can use, there are few other tools which you can kind of understand what are some of the engagement going on up and down. So as I have given you, I'll share the slide deck. So BuzzSumo, BrandWatch, and I'm not a brand ambassador for any of those folks. If you're saying, Harpreet, why are you saying this versus not that? I've used some sort of all of these, but the reason I'm stating is use one. If you don't like it, use another. No one is going to pressurize you. The key is to start using, right? And so if you feel like, okay, I am done, like content creation, I don't want to do anything, that's great. But if you want to keep forwarding and keep moving forward, and also want to start building your own business or on your lead generation, you can start using marketing tools, AI tools, MailChimp, there is HubSpot, email marketing, ad targeting. We have all at least I know here in US we talk a lot about ads. We talk about a lot about Google ads. We talk a lot about Meta ads or Facebook ads. Use those platforms. If you're selling something, use those platforms to elevate your brand. Like if you're looking for building your own business and you want to sell something, or if as a student you have you have built some project and you're looking for some funding, those are great way to pull you forward and engage and also empower yourself. And then again, what's your u.inc? I'm just gonna, like, I see Michael is here. Anna is here from Portugal. Anna, what is your Anna.inc? How do I know what Anna brings to the table? Do you have a website? Or are you on LinkedIn? Or are you anywhere? If you are building a website, there are a lot of AI tools. You can easily build those using that. There are tools like, Moz. There are chatbots which are telling you how it's doing. The key thing is to start. I can give you all the tools. Guess what? I don't even need to have this slide. The only thing I need to tell you is go use ChatGPT, or go use Microsoft Copilot, or go use Bing Enterprise and search for how do I build my own brand. Or if I am building my own website, give me some tools. It'll tell you. I use, for my brand, I use Dolly lots. I have also started using Microsoft Designer, and I'll show you some pictures which I've done. But I also wanted to kind of give a shout out. A lot of people, as you've been in this conference, a lot of people are like, oh my God, is AI going to take my job? Well, if you don't get on the train, it may. So the key is to use it, get well versed with it, whatever level you are, get on the train. I have been in this industry. I will tell you, if I wouldn't have got on the train of all the things which are happening in technology world from last 20 years, I wouldn't be here, folks. I would be obsolete. What I did in my master's of computers, I don't think it's anymore in usage. That Oracle version, that SQL version, that code is no longer used. So be a learner, get on the AI train, and then use it. So I've kind of talked to you how you can start building by content creation, brand, email, and others. But then you can also use networking and outreach. There are a lot of CRM tools to use that. There is outreach tools like outreach.io, Woodpecker. You can use those tools to kind of get your following up. And then there are analytics tool. Even LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn, LinkedIn has its own AI web part now, which you can use for your own social media analytics as well. The key is to get on the train. Literally, the key is to get on this train and be a learner. Keep your growth mindset and be a learner. There are, I was listening to some of the other speakers. There are so many AI learning platforms, be it Coursera, be it LinkedIn Learning, be it Udemy, be it Pluralsight. Get on anywhere. There are so many Microsoft free AI tools. Just search, like literally go to Bing or Copilot or ChatGPT and search. The prompt can be as easy. I want to do AI, generative AI learning. It will give you 10 or 20. It's that easy. As a student, you can start doing that. You can start learning. And it's another question which comes to me as a speaker. This what I have today is a very different than what I generally speak on. One of the questions that I still get is, Harpreet, is AI only for software engineers and not for communicators and not for product managers and not for TPMs? Let me tell you, it's for each and every one. Even for doctors, they are going to use the power of AI as well. Everyone, teachers, everyone is going to use the power of AI. It's your natural language. You tell it, but you got to feed the right things in it. And the reason I'm stating is these are some of the, connecting it back to the personal branding side. If you build your brand right and search for yourself, for example, I would like to, if any of you search for Harpreet Kaur Vibe London or search for Harpreet Kaur Microsoft, hopefully you will see this girl with a turban. If you don't, that means I'm also not doing it correctly. I'm also not building my brand correctly. There are a lot of things. I actually wrote this AI Fearful 4 Career Catalyst. I'll put a link in there. Don't fear it. It's going to help you elevate your career. It's going to help you move your career. And someone said, use it. Yes, use it. So connect with me. As I said, feel free to follow. And some pictures, the cartoon pictures which you see, those are by Microsoft designer and Dolly. This picture of me on a scooter when I was not wearing a turban, of my dad when I wrote about this story. But guess what? It's helping me write stories. It's helping me put my thoughts in a picture, and then I can write a story on it. This is a picture of me driving my dad every weekend or every Monday early morning. I used to drive my dad to the bus stand, dressing up like a man too, because back home it was not very safe for a young girl to kind of be on the roads early morning or late night. But I was able to tell that story in a pictorial form. And obviously I wrote a story as well on top of it on LinkedIn, and then what were the learnings? So you're building your brand. Like for me, the brand I'm building is how you stand out. Women in tech, diversity and inclusion, product, or product management or industry trends, and then the last one, mental health. You will see these 5 things. I talk about these 5 things on my social platforms. That's it. And I'm using the power of AI to help me elevate my brand, to help tell the story in a way which I can connect. I will ask it, hey, I will give it the prompts of, these are the things it's in my mind. What are some of the actions my readers can take? And it will tell me. And then I rewrite it in my own words. The last thing you want to do it is, you also do not want to copy paste as it is. Don't do that. Write it in your own way. Ask it to help you versus lead you. With that being said, I'm going to leave you all with this picture, with this, last slide. Again, take a picture of this, because this is what you're going to be working on. And use AI tools. If there is only one, I can leave you with, use ChatGPT or Bard, whatever, and start building this. Okay, with that being said, that's it from my side. I am going to ask if there are any questions. I'm happy to take questions. And I also understand this is my law. You are going to be like having a good dinner, and you're going to have a party or whatever that is to close this conference.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely, Harpreet. We're going to have an awesome party to celebrate the end of this awesome session. Thank you so much. That has been super insightful and super informative. I have one question from my end.
Sure.
What are some of the common challenges or pitfalls in integrating AI into personal branding, and how can they be avoided?
Yeah, so this is such a great question. First of all, as I said, the key is to first understand yourself, right? Like, when you start putting some prompts in, first of all, responsible AI, right? I have seen, if you use even the word ugly and you say, give me some, it will say, no, I cannot. Right? It is getting to a point where it will also not give you the prompts back or give you the answer back if you're using wrong. So be responsible on what you're adding it. And some of the pitfalls I will say is, as you're starting to build your own brand, is not understanding yourself and trying to mimic someone else, right? So, not on the AI side, but on this personal branding side, because guess what? You two are different than me. But if you and me are putting the same prompts, it will give you the same answer. But is that you, or is that me? Right? So one of the pitfall I have seen it is trying to mimic someone and giving it the prompts, like, or if Harpreet is a personal branding coach, like, I want to be. But if you're not that yet, don't put the same, don't make it say something which is not you. That is the biggest thing, because in the end, AI is helping you elevate your brand. You want it to push you forward versus someone saying, oh, you know what, he or she or they write something, but they're not that in person. Tomorrow, if you and me, we meet, you both, like, we meet in person, hopefully you get the same sense of me, what I'm putting online. Keep that in cohesion. That would be my thing. And people sometimes feel like what they are online, or what they are, I would say, in today's online world, it's very easy to mimic someone. The plagiarism, people will copy paste someone's things and all. They come, like, you cannot be fake for long. So don't get into that pitfall, and use AI to your advantage versus becoming it to your disadvantage. And people, when they meet you in person, they're like, wow, that's like 100-degree opposite of Harpreet, what she was talking, right?
Wow,
So
wow.
that would
Thank
be
you
my
so much. Yeah, you've really tackled that question in the best approach. So I believe everyone has really learned a lot from the session today
Sure.
and from the event. Possibly can have insights from you, Majan.
I've really loved the Azure OpenAI sessions. Like most of it, we're talking about the Azure OpenAI services, how to get access to them, and how to utilize them to build your own applications. I think that was a really insightful sessions altogether. But yeah, all the same for the Power Platform, Power Automate sessions, all the same. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for everyone who joined us today. I believe you've really learned a lot. As we said, the recordings will be available on YouTube, and I'm glad we appreciate you for joining us. We've been airing this live from Microsoft ADC in Kenya. So thank you so much. Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.